June 23, 2024. 12th Sunday in Ordinary Time. A reading from the Book of Job. The Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind and said, Who shut in the sea with doors when it burst out from the womb, when I made clouds its garment and thick darkness its swaddling band, and prescribed limits for it and set bars and doors, and said, Thus far shall you come, and no farther, and here shall your proud waves be stayed? The word of the Lord. Responsorial Psalm respond is, O give thanks to the Lord for he is good, for his mercy endures forever. Some went down to the sea in ships, to trade on the mighty waters. These have seen the deeds of the Lord, the wonders he does in the deep. O give thanks to the Lord for he is good, for his mercy endures forever. For he spoke and raised up the storm wind, tossing high the waves of the sea that surged to heaven and dropped to the depths. Their souls melted away in distress. O give thanks to the Lord for he is good, for his mercy endures forever. Then they cried to the Lord in their need, and he rescued them from their distress. He stilled the storm to a whisper, and the waves of the sea were hushed. O give thanks to the Lord for he is good, for his mercy endures forever. They rejoiced because of the calm, and he led them to the haven they desired. Let them thank the Lord for his mercy, his wonders for the children of men. O give thanks to the Lord for he is good, for his mercy endures forever. A reading from the second letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians. Brethren, the love of Christ controls us, because we have concluded this, that one has died for all, therefore all have died, and he died for all, that those who live might no longer live for themselves but for him who for their sake died and was raised. From now on, therefore, we regard no one according to the flesh. Even though we once regarded Christ according to the flesh, we regard him thus no longer. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has passed away, behold, the new has come. The word of the Lord. Alleluia, Alleluia. A great prophet has arisen among us. And God has visited his people. Alleluia. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. On that day, when evening had come, he said to them, Let us with them in the boat, just as he was. And other boats were with him. And a great windstorm arose, and the waves were breaking into the boat, so that the boat was already filling. But he was in the stern, asleep on the cushion. And they woke him and said to him, Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing? And he awoke and rebuked the wind and said to the sea, Peace, be still. And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. He said to them, Why are you so afraid? Have you still no faith? And they were filled with great fear and said to one another, Who then is this, that even the wind and the sea obey him? The Gospel of the Lord. Reflection. Jesus calming the storm reminds us the saying, With men this is impossible, but with God all things are possible. At times the problems we encounter cannot be solved with our experience, wisdom, money, the services we can buy, etc. For the unbeliever, when he gets to a point in life where every means to get a cure, or a Job, or a better life fails, in despair, he is easily driven to commit suicide. But the Christians shall never run out of hope, because if everything fails, we have faith at our disposal. Faith enables us to tap God's supernatural power to overcome any storm that will rear its ugly head in our lives. Jesus calms the storm teaches us to apply faith in our lives, especially, against the problems we are powerless to overcome. The event of Jesus sleeping during the storm is a picture of God's attitude towards the storms in our lives. Though he knows and sees our situations, until we have called upon him in prayer, he only looks on. God has always demanded that we call upon him for him to act, that is the law he operates with on this earth. God has since been telling his people to call upon him. Jesus intended this incident to happen for a reason, which is, he wanted to use the event of the storm to teach his disciples about faith. Eventually, Jesus got up to rebuke the storm and there was calm. And then he questioned the faith of his disciples, saying, Why are you so afraid? Have you still no faith? So his disciples learned that they lacked faith, more so, they saw at first hand the power of faith and what they can accomplish with faith. The disciples spent a lot of time with Jesus and saw him perform many miracles. This will make us to think that they'd have a lot of faith. But in reality, it became evident they had more faith that the storm would destroy them than in Jesus saving them. Jesus may have rebuked the disciples for their weak faith, but he didn't abandon them to let them drown. Instead, he calmed the storm and then continued to teach them who he was and demonstrated what it was to have faith in God. We are all one body with Jesus as the head. We can overcome even what appear to be insurmountable obstacles. Life is like a boat, exposed to a myriad of dangers, temptations, occasions to sin, bad counsels of men, passions of corrupt nature, etc. Let us never lose confidence when temptations arise. Keep your eyes on God, who alone can deliver us.